How's it going, everybody? I am Preston Johnson.
Welcome to
Last Word Cheetah, brought to you by Bets TV.
As a general philosophy.
That's exactly right. You're a fish.
Qwan, by the way, my producer, Qwan Young, doing a good job. He'll be taking the calls. How you doing today, bud?
Hey, man, how are you?
We appreciate you guys tuning in. Welcome to the show, Bets TV, bringing you Last Word Cheetah. That wasn't intentional, but it looked cool. I didn't even realize the mic wasn't here. We have the one over there. I would have had to yell pretty loud. But this is Last Word Cheetah. Welcome, everybody, to another edition here in the Bets TV studios. I am Preston Johnson, host, with my good old friend, Qwan Young, who's co-hosting and producing from the other side. We're going to jump. We normally take your calls, 661-515-BETS. We talk them over. We break them down. But we have Collin Wilson because bowl season starts tomorrow. College football is my bread and butter. It's Collin's bread and butter. And he posted like the coolest video of all time in regards to sports betting content yesterday with his Grandma Sue. I hope I said that correctly. I might have misremembered her name, but I decided we got to play this before we patch him through and then do the actual interview. He gave me permission. We're good. I don't want to like ruin it for anyone or anything. I'm not even going to like preface it. So whenever Quan's good to go, we'll play it. We'll listen back. Then we'll bring Collin right in. We'll take your calls after Collin. So if you're calling in now, I hear the phone ringing. Give us about 20 minutes or so, then we'll take your calls as usual.
Hey everybody, Collin Wilson with the Action Network. This is my Grammy Sue at the very young age of, are we disclosing your age these days?
Well, yeah, that's fine.
You're not old enough, still not old enough. You could date Saban, you could date Coach O. If we played a game of Would You Rather, would you be with Coach O or Nick Saban?
Oh, I'll take Saban.
You take Saban over Coach O? Would you take Johnny Manziel or Nick Saban?
Saban.
Saban? That's not what I heard when you saw Johnny Manziel run
Yeah, well, I
around.
changed mine since then.
Yeah. Never bet against Alabama?
That's right.
All right, so we're going to play a game of bowl, not a bowl. Now, this is a thing where Grammy I'm going to name off some bowls, and she's going to say if it's really a bowl or if it's not a bowl. So when I look at her and I say, Grammy, is there a such thing as a Tony the Tiger Bowl? You would have to answer yes or no. Now, I'm asking you, is there a Tony the Tiger Bowl?
I'm going to say yes.
You're right, there is. The Sun Bowl is now named the Tony the Tiger Bowl. This is an easy one, a softball. Is there a famous potato Idaho Bowl? Is there a famous Idaho potato bowl? Yeah, she got that one. All right. So she got the Tony the Tiger Bowl. Is there a New Mexico Bowl?
Yes.
Oh, she's 3 for 3. I'm really impressed. All right, let's try to get something a little bit tougher here.
Okay.
Is there a Gasparilla Bowl?
Oh, yes.
She's 4 for 4. I think Grammy's been watching too much college football. Is there a Myrtle Beach Bowl?
Yes.
That's a brand new bowl, played on the surf and turf. She got that right too. She's nailing them here. Is there a Silver Dollar City Bowl?
Not that I know of. I have to take that one.
You have to say yes or no.
I'm going to say no.
She's right. 6 for 6. There is no Silver Dollar City Bowl. Would you like to see a Silver Dollar City Bowl?
No.
All right. What about a Cracker Barrel Bowl?
All right. Let's bring in Collin. I'll let him react a little bit because, one, I thought it was a brilliant idea. The names of the bowls these days are absolutely insane. In the bowl system's pretty messed up. Like, we should probably figure this out. But then to have Grandma do it, it was amazing. And I legitimately laughed really hard yesterday when I watched it the first time. Your Johnny Manziel comment, that's not what you said when you saw him running around. I died in here in the studio yesterday. So, Collin, welcome as usual. Well done. I thought it was great.
Thank you. Yeah, there's so many inside jokes with that video clip because I took Grandma to the 2013 Texas A&M Arkansas game, and Johnny Manziel blitzed Arkansas for like 50 points and Donald W. Reynolds. And my grandmother, her response was, have you seen the caboose on that Johnny Manziel? I'm like, what are you talking about? And so the video was like, I had to pull things from Grammy's, things that Grandma loves, and ask her, like, do you, because, she is a big fan of ammo. So I said, is there a Winchester Ammo Bowl, right? So she had to think about that. Is there a Silver Dollar City Bowl? She collects little statues, little precious moments statues, as if there's a Precious Moments Bowl. But what I love to do is, my grandfather passed away a little over a decade ago, And so I like to give her a hard time about her dating life. Like, what's it like? Because I mean, it's church and Cracker Barrel and Brahms. So how's the dating life going, Grant? And getting her response on camera, she gets so. When I asked her about FarmersOnly.com, I thought she was going to fall out of her chair. So
they had a good run. Like I remember seeing those commercials, the FarmersOnly.com commercials, for a long time. At least for whatever reason during sporting events, because that's usually all the TV I'm watching the last few years, regardless. The reason we have you here, though, one of the best college football minds. It is bowl season, kicks off tomorrow with Toledo, Middle Tennessee State. I didn't even talk with you prior about any sort of format or anything. I basically just want you to hit on the games that you have the biggest vibe about, what you've bet so far that is more or less still in range. So I'll kind of just let you take it, and we can start with like one of your favorite bets, and then at the end we'll probably hit on the playoff games either way. So you can start with some of the maybe 2 or 3 of the main smaller bowls that you're looking at early.
Yeah, I think from this weekend's perspective, Toledo -7, I hit it right away. I would still hit it at 10. I make it up to 13. This Middle Tennessee, I don't even know how they got into a bowl game, to tell you the truth. They shouldn't be. Wilted down the stretch, fourth quarterback type stuff. Toledo is motivated to be here. Qwan Finn at quarterback, if you haven't seen Toledo play offense. They made the switch to him after they lost to Northern Illinois, which is too bad because we all thought Toledo was going to win that division. So love Toledo in that game. I would still take him with this number of 10. And then I like another favorite. I like Coastal Carolina, except I'm playing a different angle. Grayson McCall. Well, you and I got a lot to talk about off air. I mean, this whole free agency thing with the transfer portal is insane. I mean, $1.5 million for a kid to come play for Dion. Grayson McCall, in my opinion, with maybe Bailey Zappi, will be the hottest transfer portal quarterbacks out there. I know Dylan Gabriel just went to UCLA, but the way Grayson McCall executes that offense at Coastal is unbelievable. And if you look at his comments, not only is he playing in this game against Northern Illinois, he wants to make a statement for his peers,
brand.
his teammates, the brand. And so I'm thinking 50 burgers. So I'm a Coastal Carolina over 37 on the team total. I don't want to deal with this Northern Illinois, what my podcast partner and I call voodoo magic, right? That they seem to cover. They have this greatest third down luck in the history. And actually, they can rush the ball really well, and that's what Coastal can't do. So I like the 2 favorites. Saturday, I think, is a boatload of underdogs. That's where I think UTEP can actually win their game against interim staff. I think looking at the matchups now, another one that I'm waiting on though is App State. That's a favorite, and I know it's going to come off of 3. I just see a sharp book did come off of 3. Mm-hmm. That's where the offensive line coach. I know Bailey Zappi's there, but App State plays a really good secondary. They're great in coverage. They're great in passing downs. And I think the thing that bothers me about, like, all the players on Western Kentucky are in the portal right now, but they're still playing this bowl. And the offensive coordinator went down to Texas Tech. And you said, well, Bailey Zappi's going to be fine. He's had all these weapons for a long time. I think where I have trouble is that App State has a tremendous front seven. They're number 1 in the nation in defensive havoc. And one of the coaches that's gone to Texas Tech for Western Kentucky is the offensive line coach. So after 3 series, when App State's running crisscross stunts and linebackers from everywhere, where are those adjustments on the offensive line going to come from? Because I've seen this Western Kentucky team struggle on the offensive line to get Bailey Zappi in a lot of trouble against UTSA. And for some reason, they settle for a lot of field goals. So I'm back in App State in that one, but I do love UTEP. I do love UAB, waiting on the McBride kid. He is one of the most elusive and explosive backs. But I think that when that news comes out, you're going to get a number on UAB that dips down to 5.5. So I got on it early.
So, I was on that one as well early. And, I'm a BYU fan anyway. But all anyone talked about the last month of the season, family, friends, all the media, local and Provo, can BYU get into a bigger bowl? Because they had a chance at maybe getting some sort of New Year's Six bowl. At least that was the talk, the rumors. I think they finished 10-2. I mean, they had a pretty good resume in general. It didn't break out that way. Now you're playing UAB in the Independence Bowl.
Right.
It's not like UAB's bad, especially defensively. I think UAB can keep it within the TD. So you've seen it come off of even 7, pushing 6.5 now, a lot of spots. But that's one I definitely am in agreement with. Let me talk, because let's stay to just, you were talking a bunch of Saturday games. Did you look at Oregon State, Utah State? Because I don't have any play, but I've heard sharp guys I respect on both sides, and it keeps bouncing to 7.5, back to 7.
Yeah, I think Stuckey and I's podcast for all the bowls this weekend is going to be out anytime over at the Big Bets on Campus podcast if you guys want to listen, but I'll just go ahead and spoil it. Him and I were in complete disagreement on this game. And
Wow.
I can understand why you like, or I can understand why somebody likes Oregon State. They rush the ball with authority. They finish off drives. I think they're third in the nation finishing drives. It's always touchdowns. And I get that. Long extended drives and really good at the running game. They're not very good in passing downs. And their defense is where I have problems. They've lost their top linebacker, Avery Roberts. They've lost their top tackler, linebacker, Avery Roberts. He's not going to be there. They have some of the worst bottom 10 metrics and allowing explosive plays. And that's where you get into Utah State and what they're going to do. This is a team that's top 15 in standard downs explosiveness, top 15 in passing downs explosiveness. So where you're going to get an Oregon State team that's methodically going to run it down the field, Utah State's going to have an explosive answer every single time. So I'll take the points, especially over 7 in a game that I think Utah State's always going to have an answer here. My power rating makes it 9. I think that's where I think with bowls, you kind of have to come off the number a little bit, look at the motivation, look at the coaching situation, and then the matchups themselves. And Oregon State's defense that's not a team I would want to lay more than a touchdown with.
I think it's fair. I agree with you mostly. My number's actually right at 7. So it's, again, nothing that I would bet just because I need a bigger discrepancy. But there is something to the actual matchup. And even on the flip side, I believe Utah State ranks 21st in EPA against the run. So if Oregon State, that's their strength, yes. But they're pretty good against the run. So if they're able to limit Oregon State on that side and their offense is explosive, it's definitely a live dog, especially with the total this high. I would look at money line shots, especially in these bowl games, which now leading to the next point. A lot of extra variance, a lot of extra variables. I've actually seen, in general, a lot of the bigger spreads, like these double-digit favorites like Toledo and Coastal Carolina, they're too low. And it's because if you go back the last few years, I think it's favorites of 7 or more are hitting like 34% or something, like 76 and 126 or something. And then there's always a MAC tax too, so Toledo's only 10 because they're in the MAC. So you have to take all these variables in. And oftentimes you can't just go straight numbers, especially then when you're looking at coaches leaving and players that are opting out. Is there any other game
What did you
later
make?
on?
Go ahead. Coastal. What did you make? I made Coastal 14. What did you make it, by the way?
It was 13 something.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people make it higher, but that whole thing that you said about the MAC, I think, and maybe, I don't know what you think about this, but the MAC is positive. They're above 500 against the spread the last 2 years in bowl games. And there was a time where you could just take them and fade them because the talent quality just isn't there. But I think odds makers have caught up to that, where people want to hate on the MAC. Now it's the ACC. The ACC, I don't think, covered a bowl game. I think it's pretty poor the last 2 years what the ACC has done. So there's going to be a conference that's just going to stink. And I think we'll find out pretty quick after this weekend who it's going to be.
It's honestly just the nature of perception and variance in general. Of course, there's going to be one conference every year that just doesn't look very good. They could have just had 4 or 5 games where they just didn't show up very well. That Saturday, you play the same thing the next week. Maybe they go 3-2 or 4-1 against the spread. Anything can happen, and that's where the MAC narrative came in. Is I believe it was over a 3 or 4 season stretch before the last 2. It's like a 0-11 run ATS, or maybe it's 1-14 or something, and that's why. But also, I've been in Vegas, walked by roulette tables. It's the example I use all the time. I've seen 18 straight reds happen. Conferences can go 1-14 ATS, and it can still be kind of noisy, right? There's not necessarily signal that means your power numbers need to get adjusted blindly because a MAC run over 3 years wasn't very good. So, absolutely, I thought that was a great point. Should we just dig into the playoff games? Because I like to play in one of them. We'll start with that. Mm-hmm. I think the total's way too low in Georgia, Michigan. Spread's pretty fair. What do you like there, or do you have anything?
I agree with you on that, especially at that number of 45, 44. You want to give me the over on that. That's just fine because Georgia's going to find a way to score here. And I think that, they're going to start methodically on the ground, whether they pick Stetson Bennett or they decide to go JT Daniels through the air. I think they're going to have some success moving the pile here. Now, I would be if they can stay in standard downs and outside of Aiden Hutchinson and Ojabo getting pressure on the quarterback, in which their offensive line can move just about anybody. And that's the thing is people don't realize is Aiden Hutchinson and Ojabo are getting all of this huge news. But the thing is they're great in passing downs. They're great at attacking the quarterback. It's the little bit different story. They're 50th against the rush. So that's something that Georgia can absolutely expose and then get points up on the board. And then on the flip side, I think the big question is do you think Michigan can move that pile with Blake Corum and Hassan Haskins and get points up on the board? I think they're going to have something designed. It's not going to be like Alabama. Alabama beat Georgia because they attacked the middle of the field with Bryce Young throwing deep. That's not Michigan's game. They're not going to do that. So if they can move the pile in the trench, which Alabama did just fine after having so many problems, they're going to get points up too. So I agree with you. I think the total's too low there.
I think it's interesting, too, when you look at some context, and you never want to, again, kind of go back to the same point, overreact to a small sample. But going into the year, and we both like Georgia at the price for national title and SEC and everything and their chances there. But the one concern was their secondary is too young, and they don't have experience. And they didn't really get to them until they play Alabama, and, of course, Alabama is Alabama. So I'm curious. I find myself in this inner battle. I usually, when my number is closer to like 50 or 49 or so, like I'm just betting over anyway. But I do have this inner battle of, because Clemson ended up being bad, Florida ended up being bad, like maybe Georgia really just wasn't tested. Maybe their defense really is that bad. Also, maybe they just needed to get a waking up to. Alabama's here, and now they're going to bounce back because it's Kirby Smart and his defenses are always so strong anyway. But they were historically great before that Alabama game. So I keep going back and forth. And the side, to me, I just have to stay away. But whether it's either,
I make it 8. I don't know what you make it. I make it 8. So there's no feel here for me whatsoever. And frankly, you don't know what style of offense they're going to play. Does Jeff Monken want to go up tempo with JT Daniels throwing deep, or does he want Stetson Bennett to be a game manager? Right. So you don't know what you're going to get from that side.
I kind of feel like my number over at TD, just eye test, it feels like we're disrespecting Michigan. But the models, anyone that's doing numbers, the market close, like Georgia was just smashing teams every week. Like I couldn't catch up. And so, of course, the number at this point should be over at TD. But it does feel a little disrespectful to Michigan. Like for some reason, it's like they just beat Ohio State, smashed them themselves. This team's been really, really good. I think they outgained Michigan State in their one loss by like 270 yards or something. Like it was pretty fluky L anyway. So I don't want to kick Michigan to the side because I think they absolutely can stay in the game. I just hope they get more points than anything else. Let's go to the last one. Cincinnati, Alabama. Anything there for you? If you made me do anything, I would play Cincy if you could find 14s, but it's not enough.
So I made, when one of the books came out at, I think, 16.5, 16? Yeah. I made a conscious decision with a power rating of 12.5 to just step out of the side on this one. And the reason is because Alabama played a brand new center against Georgia. They played the McLaughlin kid. He only had 110 snaps under his belt. He'd only appeared in 7 games, and he just blocked Jordan Davis, Wyatt, that whole entire defensive line of Georgia, and did a great job. And right tackle was Chris Owens, and he posted the best day of the entire season. So what's the new handicap if Alabama cleans up their problems on offensive line? How good are these guys? Is this number really 12.5, or should it be higher? Mm-hmm. So I'm sidestepping the spread on this one completely because I think the under is the best bet here, and it's not even close. And the reason is because go back and look at what Alabama was last year. The greatest offense of all time, maybe, with Devonta Smith, with Mac Jones, with everything that they had. Ask yourself in the semifinal how Notre Dame covered that game. If they really were, Alabama was the greatest offense of all time, how did Notre Dame cover that game? Because Nick Saban made a conscious decision not to test the secondary, to run Brian Robinson 40, 50 times, to run Najee Harris 40, 50 times. So what are you going to do against Cincinnati when they've got 3 guys in their secondary they're going to play at the NFL? You're going to run the ball. You have a size advantage on your offensive line against this defensive line. So I think what Saban's going to do is he's going to Notre Dame them. And by the way, that's what he did to Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. He just lined up straight up and ran right through them. I'm not even going to try to get into a shootout with you. I don't want this to be a shootout. And so in my opinion, you're going to give this offensive line and Brian Robinson and the rest of the backs that have been hurt, you're going to give them a month to get healthy. And then I think Saban's just going to get a 3-possession lead and stick his arm out and play keep away. And that's what he did with Notre Dame. It was a grind. It was kind of a bad watch last year. So I like under 58 in this game.
So it reminds me of, I just keep thinking as you were going through and explaining that, it reminds me of the Bill Belichick game with the wind against the Bills. And Bill Belichick's just always been known to, where's our best edge and advantage? We're just going to stick to it. We're just going to execute better than you, or we're going to attack your weakness. You're right. 3 NFL-level guys in the secondary for Cincy after playing a bunch of freshmen, the Georgia secondary. They might just try to run through them and control the game, keeps their defense fresh. I like that read just because if there's 2 guys I think I can count on for playing the best, like, the optimal positive expected value game plan or game script, it's probably Belichick and then Saban in college. So Yeah, under's probably worth a look. I'm pretty sure my number was close to market, so I never really dove in. But that's worth considering, especially if you see it like early in the first quarter. Maybe you can try something in game at that point.
And keep this in mind. And I keep this in mind. I've never been able to find this stat. I would love to find this stat. But the reason you saw Devontae Smith making so many explosive plays last year, or you saw Jalen Waddle make so many explosive plays, is because John Mechie was 20 yards downfield throwing blocks. And now with Mechie having a torn ACL, that doesn't just hurt the deep explosive passing attack that Bryce Young is capable of doing. It hurts the other wide receivers in catching those key blocks 15 yards downfield. John Mechie is one of the best pass blockers I've ever seen. I mean, every highlight I've ever seen of Alabama, John Mechie sticking someone 20 yards down the field.
Do you, last thing, do you think, let's say Georgia takes care of business and Alabama ends up beating Cincinnati as well, where do you see, this is what I'm trying to get at, articulating it, what's the look-ahead line in your eyes? They just played, Georgia closed 6.5, total was way too low. What's the adjustment like, you think? I know it's somewhat dependent on what we see in the semis, but what would you anticipate the market being for a final and a rematch?
As of right now, not grading two box scores, it'd be Georgia -1.5, which would be eye-popping to a lot of people after a number of 7. They would say, this is too much. This is a huge adjustment. You can't move 6 points over a span of 2 games. So there's going to be a lot of that narrative in there. I think what you have to do is go back and look and see what Georgia did offensively, and if they're able to adapt and get more points up on the board against Alabama's defense. Can they avoid Will Anderson? Can they, avoid getting wrecked at the quarterback position? And there's just so many questions on the Georgia offense that I would be inclined to probably, if you have no fear that Cincinnati's going to win that game, you probably want to buy an Alabama national championship ticket right now, because I can't see that Georgia number ever getting above 3. And I can't see that money line being better than what Alabama's odds are to win it all right now.
Definitely. 3 would be crazy now. I'm with you. If it does get there, then I think there's the buyback on Bama at that number, or money line, whatever it may be. I have it. I'm still a little more pro Georgia. I think I was 2.7. I was looking last week, dependent somewhat on the semis, but I don't know. I find myself wanting to just bet Georgia and bet the public is dumb, they're going to overreact narrative.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just thinking it through still, but I have this hunch that they're going to play better. Like, that was about as bad as we've seen Georgia play. Even worse Georgia teams against better Bama teams previously in other years have played Bama better. There's some more upside there on that front. Bama basically, careered it. And anyway, I was curious about your thoughts on where the number went.
So,
go ahead.
So what you're saying is when you and I get into Vegas, we're going to be taking car trips all around looking for the best -130 on Georgia that we can find. Whatever shop will take our money. But I think what sticks out to me, if we're going to go ahead and preview that national championship game, the loss of John Mechie comes into the element again. Can Bryce Young do what he did, throwing downfield in between the hashes 20 yards without Mechie? I'm not sure he can.
Yeah.
Run the ball all day, but that makes it a slower game, and it's a different handicap than what we saw in the first game.
I was talking to, I'll leave him anonymous because he's not really on Twitter, but he's a professional bettor, one of the best I've ever had the honor of meeting. What do you think he would value Mechie at? Just off the top of your head, is literal point value to a point spread.
You get burned by people when you put wide receivers over a point. You get burned by people when you say they're more than a half point.
Yeah, everyone says, oh, that's impossible.
The explosive plays don't happen on Alabama unless somebody is throwing blocks downfield, and that's John Mechie. And considering the comfort that Bryce Young has in his targets downfield, he didn't throw downfield that much. He's been captain check down. He throws to the empty spots. He's my glorified darts world champion player, but I think Mechie's worth more than a point. And if I had to put something on it, it makes them a less explosive offense because A, he can't haul in the passes, and B, he can't throw blocks for the guys that are going to. He doesn't serve as a decoy. I mean, Waddle played in that game last year with a broken ankle, and he was only in there to be a decoy.
Yeah.
And so Mechie doesn't even have the option to be a decoy in the national championship game. So the loss of Mechie to me is bigger than a point, but you get burned by people saying a wide receiver is worth more than that.
Well, in this day and age with so much passing, the way the rules have changed, receivers are, I think, generally more valuable than running backs. That's common, deep analytical, assessment. Most people agree to that point. But even in college, then, it's an outsized difference relative to NFL, where there's a lot more parity just in general versus certain defenders and who's a replacement level player. He thought there was a fair argument for 2 points to a point spread.
Yeah.
And I thought
Because
and he said 1.5 is probably right, but he thinks it could even be higher. So just worth noting for those that are looking at Bama. That's why the Cincy, if you can get the 14s, if there's any more 14s, I know it's kind of bounced a little. It's intriguing to some degree on the Cincinnati front.
the back door will be there. Like I said, this is the Notre Dame game all over again. That back door, but you don't think Brian Kelly going up tempo with Ian Book at the last minute, that he didn't know what the spread was?
He knew. For sure.
Yeah, he knew. So I think that's what's going to happen. But I think one last thing to harp on with Alabama and Georgia, you're not going to be able to hit Brian Robinson in the wheel route out of the backfield. Georgia's linebackers are extremely fast. They play east to west football better than anybody I've seen in years on defense, even some of these Clemson defenses. You can burn them deep vertically. But if you're going to rely on your passing game, hitting running backs out of the backfield like with wheel routes, you're only going to get away with that once or twice. So you're right. I like it. We may show up and just go shopping for Georgia.
I love it, man. Thanks for spending extra time. I know that ended up running like 25 minutes, but we love you. Tell people real quick where to find you, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, Twitter @_Collin1. You can find my work over at actionnetwork.com. Writing up a whole bunch of bowls. Check out my podcast partner and I, Stuckey, on the Big Bets on Campus podcast. And I think we have a live show on Saturday, Big Bets live show with Brett McMurphy, me and Stuckey, breaking down all these wonderful bowl games. So we'll catch everybody on Saturday or in your ears on your media format.
Beautiful. Thanks
for
Collin.
having me.
And I will catch you in Vegas in a couple of weeks for the national title. Excited to see you guys.
You bet. See you, bud.
See ya. Nice. Just off the top of your head, if there is a rematch, Qwan, and we'll open up the phone lines now. Thanks for being patient, everyone. 661-515-BETS. Who would you pick to win the game?
Man. That's tough. Because you just can't trust Georgia. You just see it repeatedly, time after time after time after time, no matter what. It's like Saban has their number. So I would probably lean Bama.
Even
yes, no matter what you
I
say, we all in Saban we trust.
They had that a couple years ago. They had it won,
yeah.
and then Tua comes in and they just hadn't prepared for Tua at all.
That's just what it is, man. So
that's why my counter or my push is like they were there at one point. So like. And people refer to that as you can't trust them. In my mind, I refer to that as I can trust that they can be in the game. It's possible.
That's not enough. You can't just.
They're a better team this year too. I don't know. I want Georgia to win so bad. I don't know. Everyone if you're not a Bama fan, you don't root for Bama.
I hate Bama.
Not anymore. So maybe that's part of this. Is I'm trying to find ways and reasons.
You can't will it to happen. Sometimes it's in the cards. Sometimes it isn't.
All right, who is up? Do we have anyone on the line now?
Yeah,
I know.
We got Patrick's been waiting the entire time, so Patrick's
wow.
going on.
Well, Patrick, appreciate you holding. Welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good. You're really bearing the lead today, aren't you, Preston?
I do not know what you were referring to. It has been hectic this morning, but I am excited about the prospects.
I opened up my Washington Post on my front stoop, and I saw a picture of you. So
before you even looked on Twitter.
News, man. I did, yeah. I get the old school Washington Post. No, I don't.
What in the world is that
but
guy
yeah,
doing?
that's exciting news, man.
The stoop
that's really
is
exciting
the most surprising part.
Yeah, Qwan doesn't believe. By the way, thank you. It is exciting. Happy to talk about it more as well. But Qwan wants to get this out of the way first. You really have a stoop? Like people have stoops still? He couldn't believe that part.
Well, I have a porch. I mean, nobody gets the paper delivered to them anymore, but if I did, I would assume they would throw it onto my porch.
That's probably true. We're not going to get the paper boy newspaper kids throwing stuff from their bikes ever again, are we? It's a shame.
Probably not, no. Or the Newsies either. Talking papers on the corners.
That whole musical movie is dead. Newsies, what?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, in a few years, kids won't care. You got NFL for us? You want to throw at us for this weekend?
Yeah. You know what? Since you're taking off next week, which I don't like, but I understand, I'm going to try to do a touchdown scorer today. Let's go Justin Herbert, anytime touchdown scorer. The best I see is 470 at FanDuel. And I was a little surprised. I was kind of looking at his rushing stats. He's only scored 2 touchdowns this year, despite rushing for more yards than he did last year. He has quite a few rushing attempts. And, he had a 90-yard rushing game. Only scored 2 touchdowns this year. So, and he scored 5 last year with fewer rushing yards. So I'm not going to say the D word, but it seems like he should be having more touchdowns than he's had based on his rushing attempts and rushing yardage.
Have you looked? Because I don't know the answer. I'll preface with this. I don't know the answer. Have you looked? Did he overachieve with 5 TDs relative to yards last year, or was that about expectation?
Honestly, I don't know because this isn't stuff that I usually look at. I just started looking at it like 5 minutes ago for the show, so
Okay.
I don't know.
But
I did put a small bet on this one anyway, just because I don't know. Sometimes you just have a gut feeling, and I know that's not how you're supposed to do it, but it's a small pizza bet, so, and maybe it'll hit.
By the way, plus 470 is the best price. But if you want to have him score twice in one game, you can bet 60-1. So, food for thought.
I don't think I need that.
Your feeling's not that good then. Okay. Noted.
No. Let's just go for one.
All right. Sounds good, Patrick. Appreciate your calls as usual, man.
All right.
Take it easy.
Yep. Congratulations again. See ya.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Who do we got up next?
We got Hunter B.
All right, Hunter, welcome back to the show, man. How are you doing today?
What's up, guys? Music to my ears, the Bama hate, and I love it. Love to hear
Yes.
it.
Unless you're from there, I really don't know anyone that is like, yeah, I can't wait for Bama to win again.
I went there, so it is music to my ears.
All right, well, then there you go. If you went to the school, you got that too.
So I do like Patrick's play there, Herbert. I was looking at that earlier. He's got like a mid 20% share of rush attempts in the red zone, which struck me as pretty high.
That is higher than I would have expected.
Yeah, so it's a good play. I went a different direction. I'm going to take Jared Cook first touchdown. I think it's still 20-1.
Sure, let me pull this up real quick. You want first TD, you said, right?
First TD, yeah.
Yeah, 20-1's the best price I see as well.
Yeah, I'll take that. He's got about a 15% target share in the red zone. Looks like Eckler's trending towards out or severely limited tonight. So you've got Cook should be your third option there. So it's a pretty good number.
All right, man. We will lock you in at 20-1.
All right.
Appreciate the call. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
All right, thanks.
By the way, I'm curious. I haven't looked today if the line in the NFL game has moved much from last night. Total keeps climbing. Maybe a little Chiefs money moved the juice on the threes up. Okay. They're saying there's going to be points. I think it opened at 49.5. Now up to 54.5 at some spots. So, anyways, over money seems to be.
Listen, I think I played my first edge. I got it at 51.
Did you really get it at 51?
Yeah.
That's we should all bet under. That's like Qwan's best bet of the year. There's just no way.
No way.
That's winning. Like 51's a relatively key number in that range. So is 54. You go bet under 52. You go bet under 54.5. There's just no way you're winning. When did you actually fire that? Was it like early week, like Monday probably? Tuesday. Well done. I'm proud of you.
I'm learning something.
Maybe. Or you got lucky. But yeah.
Yeah. We got Nick.
What's up, Nick? Welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
Hey, we're doing good. How about yourself?
Doing fantastic. You got another bowl game for us?
Yeah, we'll roll with another bowl game. I played this a long time ago. I still like it enough. We'll play it anyways. And I'm with you and Collin on this. UAB +7.
Okay, nice. We talked about it some, but if you want to lay it out for 30 seconds, go for it.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I played it 8.5, but it's right on the border if I should play it or not, if it's enough of a mathematical edge. But it's right there, so we'll just roll with it. But Net yards per play, UAB slightly better. Obviously, BYU is the better strength of schedule, and I make it BYU 5.5 for what it's worth. But in any case, I think UAB's success rate on defense really checks out nicely, and it looks like what's his name, Alex Wright, their star defensive end, is going to play for UAB. So that was like a slight concern to me, but he looks like he's playing, and so. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's a little bit of a numbers play, and I don't know. Anytime that it's on the edge, and if you and Collin are both on it, then I definitely feel much better about it. So
throw it in, and I'm telling you, as someone, obviously the BYU ties, but BYU, because of the religious attachment, it's like
sure,
like people really thought BYU was going to go to a New Year's Six game. Like it was the vibe was just so like. It was such a letdown.
Right.
I imagine only the players are hearing and seeing the same stuff, and you never really like. This might be the first time in the history of the show I've like said, "Hey, letdown spot," but if there was one, like it doesn't hurt. So I'm definitely with you there in that regard.
Yeah, it was a rough spot for BYU just because there was two Power 5 champs that were like well outside like the top 10, between Utah and what was it, Pittsburgh, and so it was just a rough spot that it was just the wrong year for them to have one of those years, unfortunately, to backdoor kind of a New Year's Six or whatever you want to call it. But anyways, we'll roll with UAB, and I don't know, for your sake, I hope BYU wins, but UAB covers.
That works for me as well. Appreciate the call, man. Take care.
Cool. See ya.
See ya.
We got Carlos.
Carlos, what's up, man? How are you doing? You probably read the old school paper there on your stoop, right? In the D.C. area?
Listen, I read the article in the Washington Post. Congratulations, Preston. I'm very proud of you. Great accomplishment. I like to still borrow that $5 I sent you. You know what I'm saying? Let me borrow $5 once you make it big. But, yeah, I'm proud of you, man. That's great. That's great stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, Stacey Augman and Larry Johnson did not show up last night, so I got a W with Omaha. And, so tonight we're going with Travis Kelce, 2+ touchdowns, because unlike Patrick, I will say he is due. So, yeah, let's do that.
I'm looking up real quick. To be the first TD is 8-1. 2+ is plus 650. You want 2+, right?
2+, yep.
I feel like if he's gonna score 2, he's a lot more likely to be the first touchdown scorer.
He's gonna score 2 and be the first.
Yeah, so you get 8-1 is actually kind of better than the 650 on 2. You think he might score 3 times?
No, he's not that dude. But he's not that dude. But I'm definitely saying he's doing enough. Exactly. Yeah.
All right, man. We will lock you in. Good luck tonight.
Hey, congratulations again, man. Good job.
I appreciate it, Carlos. Sincerely. Thank you. We'll talk to you later. See ya.
All right. Take care.
We got OG John.
Right on. Bring him on through. John, what's up, man? Welcome back to the show.
How you doing, Preston? Congrats. And I'm watching Liverpool right now try to finish off this game. And I didn't hit my first score, so I'm going to have to take a shot today. And I think I'm going to go to look at the first-time score for tonight's football game.
Okay. Which player?
I'm going to look at Hardman. I was surprised when I looked at red zone targets. He was actually second on the team, which shocked me. It was Hill and then him and then Kelce, which
really?
So I'm going to go with that. Yeah, I was shocked. That's what I got anyway when I looked it up. I was almost surprised. And I know he's not a known name, but I'll give it a shot that he can score maybe first tonight.
25-1 is the best number I see. You're right about that. I mean, the market's saying there's going to be points if they can score first.
Right.
You get something in the red zone. Yeah, I don't hate it. That is surprising. I know Kelsey's dropped off a little bit, but they're like, I don't know if defenses are taking it away or what. Yeah, that's very intriguing.
Yeah, maybe a bunch of little screen passes. Maybe it's not true. Like in the end zone. But all I had to look at was the red zone targets, and he was second on the Chiefs, and I was sort of surprised by that. So I'll run with that. Take a shot.
Sounds good. We'll lock it in, man. Take it easy. Good luck tonight.
All right. Have a good day. Yep. Bye.
I like that one.
It makes sense. I mean,
25-1.
You can kind of sit on Tyreek Hill. You can't get beat with speed there, and then Kelsey probably get game plan a lot more in the red zone.
25-1, you only have to. I mean, how often do you think Hardman scores first? If you had to put a percentage on it,
First,
yeah, first TD,
Probably
25-1.
25. What? Is that about 13%?
Okay, that's probably too high. But
Yeah.
point being, at 25-1, it's slightly under 4%. It's going to be like 3.8 or 3.9% is your break-even point. So even if he scores first, 1 out of 20 times they run this game tonight, your head, it's a worthwhile bet.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to put some context. Your head went to like 13%. It's probably not that high, but
Seems low. Yeah.
but the three, especially if I didn't realize that his red zone
target
usage and targets was actually that high ahead of Kelsey. It's intriguing. Anyways, next.
We got Hunter in Houston.
Hunter, what's up, man? Welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
Not too bad, Preston. I'm going out on a limb. Let me get Donald Parham first touchdown.
Did you bet him by chance when Spreadopedia posted about it like a few months back, I guess now?
No, I did not.
Okay. I know a bunch of people were tailing him on Twitter, but he was in on the Parham like week 2 or 3 at least 50-1 for first TD. It was before he kind of had a little more of a recognizable name. But I can get 28-1 still in this game. It looks like plus 2,800.
Okay, that works.
Beautiful. You have any reasoning? Why? Any angle, or just taking a shot?
Taking a shot, Preston. Just taking a shot.
All right. Fair enough, man. Take it easy. We'll talk to you later on.
All right, brother.
See ya. Taking a shot.
Taking a shot.
That's all you can do.
Feeling the flow. Hayden in Dallas.
Hayden, welcome back, man. How are you doing?
Hey, what's up? I got a lot of messages in my group chats about someone on the Wall Street Journal. I just want to wish you congratulations for joining the English football community.
I'm excited. It's nothing like quite actually 100% official, but we're very, very close. It wasn't the Wall Street Journal. It was the Washington Post. If it was the Wall Street Journal,
Washington Post, Wall Street Journal, same thing.
I was like, Wall Street is not my thing. I'm not the guy down there like firing stock options or something. It just wouldn't fit. But the sports section of the Washington Post, it works. But I appreciate you bringing it up. I'm excited, man. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Apologies for getting that incorrect, but
it's fine.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you. What do you want to roll with for your bet today?
I guess everyone's taking these absolutely absurd long shots. So what is Mike Williams to score 2 touchdowns tonight?
Not high enough is my guess. Let's see. 11-1. All the other books are 8-1.
Yeah,
so FanDuel has a nice little price there at 11-1.
Oh. Then I'll do that. Sole reasoning, 2 reasons. They're very sound. Number 1, need a long shot for the leaderboard. Number 2, Mike Williams is in my fantasy team in the playoffs. So
there you go. Double down.
Couple really sound picks. Yeah, I mean if there's anything that my teams that I always bet on or pick on the show never win. And it's always in like dramatic fashion. Well, I guess except for the Cowboys, but I don't know if you watched any of the Mavs game last night. Goodness gracious.
I'll be honest, I was a little busy with the other stuff, but I was following the box score on my app. I didn't actually watch it, though.
Got it. Yeah, it was just Russell Westbrook and Austin Reeves or the downfall. You don't say those 2 names next to each other in like clutch shots.
Ever. I think this is the first time, not to mention in the year 2021. So, by the way, if he missed, do you think they would have called a foul?
100%. I mean, I think Hardaway got just all on.
He plowed him. I couldn't believe they didn't blow a whistle when I saw the replay. But it's one of those where you wait and see if it goes in first.
Yeah, I mean, it had to have been. It was like, man, that game was just wild. It was a wild game. But, congratulations again, and let's go.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Take it easy.
All right, see you.
We got Andre.
It's funny, I'll just say a few years ago, my wife's from Dallas. I'm from LA, Lakers. Like That used to be like a nice little rivalry. We'd throw the game on. Did not happen last night.
It's an ugly year.
Andre, you said?
Yes.
Cool. Andre, what's up, man? How are you doing?
Doing well, Preston. Just want to echo the sentiments. Congratulations. Saw, you're getting into the soccer business on the Twitter timeline. And so, really innovative and kind of just thinking, seeing where the market's going per usual. So tip my hat to you on that. For tonight, my New York Knicks, you're welcome. My New York Knicks are going to handle business. Apologize, don't have the specific numbers, but whatever it is, Tibbs is heading down to the Lone Star State, and he's taking no prisoners. And Rockets obviously rebuilding, so on, and Fortran assault. However they're framing it, they did get a good pick, in my opinion, with Jalen Green, but I think he's injured right now. So, they're obviously just playing for the future. Knicks are, playing for the playoffs and looking to, this Eastern Conference, they don't want to lose ground, so to speak. And I'm not. That's my team. Tom Thibodeau is my coach. And I'll just kind of segue because we spoke yesterday about Rick Carlisle, and I did read that article and seeing, the reports, and everybody, bad relationships, so on. I'm not selling my Carlisle stock.
Good.
You brought up the stats yesterday, and we're just going to have to see how, I'm not, Luka, he's, I said my piece on him, extremely talented, also extremely sensitive. Miles Turner, again, he was, in trade talks last year, and so this year he's in trade talks again, talented guy, but he's had his back and forths with management. So I'm not standing on those twos, them two as credible witnesses, in the trial of Carlisle. Or really, I think this is a greater issue about just players and authority writ large, and coaches that are coming from the old school and staying in the old school, having to take, this type of punishment. So I don't want to,
Yep.
Carlisle's good. Thibodeau, even more so. They're going to get the job done in Houston. Congratulations. And last point, because we got talent behind me on the line, the Milwaukee Bucks, minus a couple people,
got it done. I was gonna give you a shout out, Andre, at the end, but the line moved to 3.5, and they still got the win.
Yeah, by double digit, and that's just again an old school coach, Coach Bud, missing some guys, but the guys he's thrown out there are going to play the right way. And then your point yesterday about 3-point variance, similar to baseball, home runs and strikeouts. If the three's not going, I think some teams just quit, which is a whole conversation for another day.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the call. Check you out tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Take care. Thank you. By the way, the Knicks-Houston line is one of the more intriguing, I think, of the whole NBA season. Most people don't really care about the game. Knicks are going downhill. Houston, when Green went out, remember they had lost 15 straight. Then they won 8 in a row, I think it ended up being, and they've maybe lost 2 since. The line, if you only watched these two teams play for the last 3 weeks, is insane.
Yeah.
There's obviously more than just 3 weeks. I'm very intrigued to see this result because in a vacuum, my guess is 5 is about right on average. But if you weight priors, this should be like 10. If you weight recency, Houston should be a small favorite probably. It's wild to me. Yeah, so I'm going to be following it along. I'm glad Andre called in about the game. Good luck for his Knicks. Hopefully they can get a W. Who's up next?
We got Paul.
Paul, one Alabama fan, I believe, at least that we do know of. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Should we call you the new Ted Lasso? Is that your new name now?
We can. It brings eyes and exposure to use that analogy, but I'm not. We're having real coaches and managers coach the club. It's not going to be me, unfortunately. We'll see who it ends up being.
Well, congratulations again on the new venture. So.
Thank you. I appreciate it, really.
So I'm going to go in a really different direction today. I'm guessing both of you have heard of Deron Williams, the former NBA player, correct? And
did I miss something about him today?
He's fighting Frank Gore.
Okay, so Okay.
Oh, I
So
knew that actually.
Deron Williams, yes. So they're fighting this weekend, and
Who has this lineup?
I think Bet Online does, I believe.
Nice. Okay.
So, and I think I saw it at like Deron Williams at minus 165, and I would like to bet on him to they don't have the specifics as far as like when the fight's going to end and stuff like that. But I just want to bet on him to win.
That works for me. Is this on like a
Triller, I think.
Striller?
Triller.
Okay. I've heard of Triller. Striller, we should start. I don't know what it is, but we should start Striller. I like it. He should get bonus points for betting this, to be honest, versus all the other stuff. This is one of the more unique angles that we have seen. I respect it.
Yeah, he's done a lot of things in MMA and boxing the past few years, and I think I know Gore has too recently, but I think Deron has done this for a lot longer, and he has I'm getting technical, but he has a reach advantage, and he's taller, so I think he really should be a bigger favorite. So I'm gonna ride it with him.
I love it. Enjoy. Good luck this weekend. We'll talk to you later on.
Yeah, thanks so much. Bye-bye.
I missed the breakdown. What did he say?
I don't even know.
Yeah,
Somehow Deron Williams, is it Deron or just Darren?
I think it's Deron. I don't know.
I don't remember. I remember saying it wrong and then also hearing different ways. But
yeah.
Deron Williams.
I don't know.
But
the point guard.
Somehow he's got an edge against Frank Gore. I don't know. I think he said he's been like practicing more, fighting more often. But Frank Gore's like probably still pretty built, right?
Yeah. And a little, I don't know. I think Frank Gore has a puncher's chance at least. We got Slam from Las Vegas.
Oh my gosh. I know this guy. What's up, man? How are you doing?
Good, Preston. Just want to say what's up. Love the show. Actually, I'm gonna go to the Vegas Bowl game, so I just wanted to get your take on that.
Oh, are you? Actually, last time you went to a game, it was the Utah-Oregon one, and I was like, if you can find Oregon at +3s, that seems like the sharp side. Did not work out.
Yep.
Not sure if you bet it.
Definitely the sharp side. I did. That was a bad sweat. It wasn't even a fun game. It was lame.
We should know never bet against Utah schools. Have you bet anything much in the bowl season yet at all, or are you just like looking to just bet the Vegas Bowl because you'll be there?
I haven't bet much yet. I haven't. I kind of take those as they come, but the Vegas Bowl, I just kind of want to kind of get ahead on that a little bit.
I'm looking at my actual spreadsheet. My numbers, the best would be over 41.5. The second best would be the one spot 6.5 at Circa on the Wisconsin side. That's actually probably worth shopping for. Get a little action.
Yeah, see, Penny still has 7, so it wouldn't be too bad.
Everywhere 7 but Circa, which sometimes makes you wonder, but that's probably that and over 41.5 are the two closest. So not too much of a surprise favorite and over.
I like definitely like the over, and I'm excited to go to a game. I'll take that over. I'm excited to go to a game and not be the asshole rooting for no scores. So that'll be fun.
You can do that for sure. Parlay it with something else. I don't know. You can do what you want. By the way, I will be in Vegas for the national title game, so plan on meeting up. We'll grab food at least once.
Let's do that again. I think last time we did that was Bama Clemson when Clemson was a back and forth game and Clemson came back. So.
Yep, definitely. Good to see you, man, or talk to you at least. We'll see you soon.
All right, love you, man. Good luck.
Yeah. Thanks. Good old Slam deal. Long-time Twitter followers know. He's less active these days, but true friend, great guy. Anyone else?
Nope.
Right on.
We got in the chat, Jordan Garnett asks, when you buying Bradford City? Was there something I missed? Did something happen today?
No.
Bob Loblaw wants Keenan Allen anytime TD plus 155 on FanDuel. Jamie wants NC State plus 2.5 for tomorrow. Ty wants Parham anytime TD or the Chargers to win. Is that Clippers or Chargers? 10-1.
The Chargers aren't 10-1.
Parham anytime TD and the Chargers to win 10-1.
Okay, that's fine.
I am too greedy on contests. My man Trent Alexander-Arnold just hit a cracker of a goal. I got plus 700 on anytime score, but got greedy on first time score. That's John.
Oh, he just scored? He took the 20 or 25-1 shot that he was first. It was 20-1, I think. First score, and then he just scored anyway.
And then
That's rough.
Mike wants Mike Williams, first Chargers TD plus 500.
Okay.
And we got Brian here putting in another Patriots play.
He's coming in to make sure he gets more Patriots money down. Brian, what's up, man? How are you doing?
Hey, Preston. I know you've heard this a lot today, but I'd also like to say congratulations to you. It's really awesome.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. Sincerely, Brian, definitely. Just excited. Got to see where this all goes. But trying something new with it. Like, we got to take a shot, right? So be able to say more in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Thank you, Brian. What do you got for us today?
I think I'm just going to lock into Patriots money line today and then look for some first touchdown scores tomorrow.
Okay. We can pull this up real quick. I don't know if I have NFL screen up. No. All right, let me just switch over. We can chop for the best money line price. I know you always just bet the Pats anyway, but do you have anything specifically in the matchup you like this time around or just fanboying it up?
I mean, I don't think, just based on numbers, I don't think home field advantage is worth too much, and I don't think Indy is a better team than New England. So I don't think it could. I don't understand why the number is a juice 2.5. Just doesn't really make sense to me. But I'm also not very smart, so maybe there is a reason.
Plus 120 is the best price on the money line, so we'll roll with that. Give yourself more credit.
I like that a
You were
lot.
kind of secretly, it hasn't capitalized into a monthly prize pool win for you on the show, but you were right about the Pats winning a lot more frequently and covering more frequently than the market expected. So you've been a little smarter than you're giving yourself credit for.
I've had some good runs having a shot late in the month, but haven't got there yet. But one of these months I'll get there.
One of these months, man. We love you. Appreciate the call. We will talk to you soon.
Thanks, Preston. Have a good one.
Good luck.
Got a few more chat bets.
Really? I just actually pulled up the stream. Let me see. I can. Jalen at 20-1 first TD. Sure. My son has him for fantasy. And my son is a lucky bastard. One of the luckiest things that ever happened to me was, as far as actual raffle or lottery type thing. I was in a group of, I think, 15 people, and only one got drawn to get a signed Kobe Bryant jersey, and it was a specific one from Panini where it's a custom, and he addresses it to you directly, so it says to Preston, and he signs it. And I remember because for some reason I had my son at the time I think was 1 year old, and so I was just with them on the bed. We were sweating this live stream as they were doing the random number generator, and I just had this feeling. I was like, you know what? I got my little kid with me. This is going to be good luck. We're going to win this. I side bet someone. This is straight 1 out of 15 shot. I side bet someone even money that I would win. Intentionally made one of the worst bets ever. I just had this feeling I was going to get it, and I actually got it. So I was pretty lucky once in a raffle sense. So it can happen.
That's it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Herbert first TD 30-1 from Bill Andrews. That's actually pretty high if the whole Herbert angle ends up being correct.
Jalen Guyton plus 20 first.
Yeah, 20-1. Yep.
Listen, man, today's the greatest day ever. It's Spider-Man Day.
Is your thesis almost done too?
I sent in, listen, I passed out at about 12:15, I think, while I was rendering a rough cut. And I sent it to him at like 7 this morning, and I got an email back, and he said it's better. So I just got to turn in the paperwork today, tomorrow. And you know, I think I'm gonna pull it off.
You think is he grading it like A, B, C, D, like that type of thing, or do you just get like a pass or fail at this point?
I hope he's not grading it A, B, C, D, because it's one of those Tommy boys. I got a D+. It's definitely. I was in the middle.
We turned that on yesterday before the show. It was fun.
I was like, this is horrible. Every second that passed by, I was like, oh wow, this is bad. Maybe I should have did it earlier. It's those moments of clarity that you get. Like, maybe I'll start doing my work on time, or even earlier.
The COVID-ness made it weird, so you have like some of an excuse there.
Yeah.
But you did wait to really dig in until like December hit. You had 2 to 3 weeks.
I started this in 2018, so yeah, the COVID-ness kind of threw off the first part, but like the last year and a half or so, I'm gonna take a little bit of accountability and say that's pretty much on me.
Okay, I was trying to give you an out, but you don't want to.
Oh yeah, see, that's the first part. You got to accept responsibility for the things you do. But I get to go see Spider-Man tonight, so that's all that really matters.
What are the plans here, just across the street, or are you going somewhere else?
As soon as Mad Lab's over, I'm gonna go to the theater.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
I'd go with you. I'm not sure if I can. I should. I love going to movies, you know that. And then I pull out my phone, and I'll just be on the phone the whole time. So I probably shouldn't go. That's right. Really, really big game tonight between the Rockets and the Knicks. I'll still remember that Clippers Jazz playoff game where they come back from down 26, and
it was way better.
My phone's buzzing. I'm like, gosh dang it! All right, new guy. We're friendly, but I don't know him too well yet. All right, I gotta take my phone. I watched the whole fourth quarter.
It was way better than Spiral anyway.
That is
was
probably
Spiral
true.
or Space Jam?
It was Spiral. Space Jam was later on. Yeah. All right, man. We'll wrap it up. Appreciate you as always, Qwan. Appreciate the callers and everyone else. Know Who Wants to Be Betting Extraordinaire. We will be posting or pushing that back post holidays and stuff and reassess. But yeah, this is Last Word Cheetah, brought to you by Bets TV as usual. Good luck tonight, and we'll talk to you later.